Okay, just a quick video on that. I'm just going to show you how to set up a domain one controllers, just so that it makes it so that we can set up conditional forwarding and other things later on. So my first thing is I've already used the install adds forest domain name and itsupport.net already on here, as well as using, before that I'd use the install Windows feature AD domain services include management tools to create the AD on here. And I can see this by using the get AD domain. I just like using the pipe to more, just so I can easily see stuff. And we can see that I've joined it to itsupport.net, which is now the fully qualified domain name for this. And we can see up here and that and there. So it kind of makes it so it's much easier to see. Right, let's just come out of this. And what we'll do is we'll just have a look at the IP address, just so I can ping both of them across to each other to double check that they can communicate. So I'm going to use get net IP address just to pipe it to them all. And under the IPv4, we ignore the IPv6, we've got it, because I haven't set it up as IPv6, IPv4, we've got the 10.166.121.10 address as a IPv4 address for this server. Right, if I go across to our GUI, and I'm just going to double check our one on here. So what I'm just going to quickly do, I'm just going to go to the control panel. I always like using the small icons, and I'm using the network and sharing center. Change adapter settings, and I'm going to right click on my one. Normally it'd be under Ethernet, but the way we're set up this switch, it's kind of, I've got one called internal here, just to kind of so that you can easily go between. And I've set it up so we've got our 10.166.121.5 is the IP, and I've also set it is a loopback address for its preferred one. So this one's its preferred DNS server, and the alternative DNS server is the other server. So what I'm going to just quickly do is I'll just use PowerShell. So I just went to Tools, PowerShell in Server Manager, and I'm just going to ping 10.166.121.5 just to double check I can reach it, which works. Sorry, .10, yes, that would be itself. Right, and I'm just going to jump across to the other one. And I'm just going to ping 10.166.121.5. Yep, so I know that they can both communicate with each other, which is fine. Right, on the GUI, I just want to join the domains. So I'm just to make this a domain controller as well. So I've already gone into manage, add roles and features. I'll just skip through all these, and I've already, oh no, I've got to install the domain services. So I'm just going to add the domain services and go next, 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 and just install. And I'll install the domain services so I can connect to itsupport.net and make this one also domain controller. So it will just take a little while for it to catch up. So what we're going to do is from the server core, that one will be the one with the domain, the global catalog one, and this one will be just using the same thing. So just wait a few more seconds for it to finish. That doesn't take very long. There we go. And I'm just going to close that. Close all of these because we don't need them. And you can see, once I've done that, there's a little flag. So I just need to see that. And we've got the promote this server to domain controller. So I'm going to use that. I'm going to put it as itsupport.net. I've got to put in the credentials, so we don't want it on this computer, so I need to do it as the actual domain. So I'm just typing in the password for the administrator, and that will go through, and we can go next. It will take its time because it's contacting the other domain controller, well, the domain controller for it. So I'll just take a few minutes, and we get up a bit of info that we just want to see whether we want to make it a global catalog or not. So we're just going to put that on, make sure that they're ticked, and just put in a password for here, and just make sure it comes up with the right thing on the site name. It should be default for site name at the moment. I'm just going to just skip this one, and I'm going to replicate from any domain controller, so that's fine. Those are all fine, they're just where we have our different folders, and I'm just going to press next, and it will just start the prerequisite test to determine that it's ready to become a domain controller, that there's nothing which we missed. And that just takes a few minutes again. But I need to do all of this just quickly before I start making all my conditional forwarders and things like that. Just because then I can show it being saved into AD instead of using zone files all the way through. We might use zone files as well, but this way you can see it just using Active Directory integration as well. So it's just installing it all. This might take a few minutes, and see what it's going through. Yep, and just making sure that it's got a fully qualified domain name set properly. You can see up there that it's going to use Kerberos to communicate as the encryption. It uses LDAP to communicate, and that is its encryption, and then it will have to be restarted. And once it's restarted, it will be our domain controller. Okay, that's all for this video.